Communication is a performance with the one, the few, or the many, face to face, on the telephone, or on the platform you are using. Communication is not just the presentation of facts, analysis, or data supported so often by a confusion of slides. Hello, I'm Nick Hooton, and I work with the performance consultancy Talking Trade Communications. In this brief video, I'm going to look at why communication is a performance and how to connect with and engage with an audience remotely. 3 core beliefs underpin everything we do as a business and help drive this video. 1. Words alone don't communicate. 2. Facts alone are difficult to remember. And finally, emotion is the key to impact. Let's look at each of these. Words alone don't communicate. For words to have meaning, to have impact, to influence and persuade, they have to be delivered with clarity, with emphasis, and with emotion. To do this, think laser when rehearsing a presentation and during your performance. L stands for loudness. Put simply, you have to be heard. Now, this doesn't mean shout, but it does mean the audience has to hear every single word you have to say. A is for articulation. As well as being heard, you have to be understood. Accents are fine. They help define us until they get in the way of the meaning. S is for silence. The drama, the significance, the humour doesn't lie in the words that we use, but in the silence that follows those words. E is for emphasis. You need to know which part of your sentence has special value or importance and stress that part. And R is at the rate at which you deliver the words, your speed of talking. A fast or a more measured approach is fine, but not throughout a performance. It is variety that makes us interesting. So the more your pace is in tune with your message, the more it will resonate and engage with your audience. Later is all about how you say it, so let me just touch on what to say. The words. Think of words that are high energy. Try to avoid cliches and buzzwords, and avoid especially non-words. Let's look at these. High energy words. Experience. Discover. Brilliant. Excited. And my favourite? Passionate. Intriguing. Sensational. Compelling. Extraordinary. Stimulating. And love. How powerful is it when somebody says, "I love the way this works"? There are many cliches and buzzwords today. Let's just have a look at a few to try and avoid. In this day and age, to be honest, heads up, bear with me, at this moment in time. At this moment in time, just say now. And of course, the most recent, the new normal. And by non-words, I mean kind of, and its close associates, kind of like, sort of like. And especially if you use these frequently, you know, basically, actually, and be aware of okay at the end of your thoughts. Good morning, my name is Nick Hooton, and basically I'm going to talk about how to perform in front of an audience. We kind of believe that communication is a performance and it's not a sort of presentation of like facts or data. Okay? How do you feel? The performance has only been going a few seconds and yet you are already switching off. Such language can be interpreted as not being sure, and this will only damage the message. The more precise your language, and the more it is delivered with authority and certainty, the more your audience will want to listen. Facts alone are difficult to remember. We are not wired to remember facts. We are wired to remember stories and emotionally engaging experiences. The more you weave story through your facts and your data and analysis, the more you will help your audience to remember them. And by story, I don't mean once upon a time or even necessarily the telling of a client experience, powerful though that can be. I mean, think story structure when you put your message together. An opening comment to arouse interest. We call this your headline statement. Our headline statement: communication is a performance. After your headline, define the problem. Develop then the impact of the problem. The fourth part of the story structure is the solution and the value of this to your audience. And the final part is the call to action. Opening comment, the problem, the impact of the problem resolution, its value, and the call to action. Emotion is the key to impact. An audience believes your message based on how they feel you feel about it. Belief isn't determined by your facts or your data or the language you use, important though these are. Belief is determined by how your audience feels as they see and hear you perform. For example, you may say, "I'm really excited to be talking with you today." If, though you don't look and sound excited, your audience won't believe you. Your audience has to feel you care and that they matter to you. Both your vocal and your physical performance are key here. Now, we've touched on the vocal with Laser. Let me simply add here that when you are putting your message together, ask yourself these two questions. 1, how do I feel about this? And secondly, how do I want the audience to feel as they hear it? If you want them to be excited, you have to be excited. If you want them to be concerned, you have to be concerned. In other words, you have to be the emotion you want the audience to feel. Your physical performance is what you do with your body. Watch out for these body language mistakes. Slouching. Slouching can come across as doesn't care or don't want to do this. Exaggerated gestures. Be aware of these as they detract from your message and can be interpreted as stretching the truth. Not looking at the camera. Now, this may come across as not interested or uncomfortable with telling the truth. This is also the interpretation if you turn away when talking. To connect with your audience, always hold eye contact with the camera when you are talking. Fidgeting, touching your face, hair flicking, all these anxious gestures are ones to avoid. Instead, look for movement to help you drive impact. In the digital world, there are clearly limitations around moving, but don't let these anchor you to the chair. Can you stand and deliver? Of course. Indeed, do so, because standing makes it easier to breathe and increases your energy. For drama and for interest, mix it up. Stand up to make a big point, and then sit back down to expand on it. And if you do stand, make sure you move back so the camera can see all of you. And to have impact, there must be consistency between your words, your tone, and your body. Why? Because we believe firstly what we see, and secondly what we hear, so your tone of voice is important. And only if these are in tune with each other will we believe the words. Let me also briefly comment on performance environment. The quality of a digital experience can be enhanced by the lighting, the sound, and what is behind you. To look our best, we need soft directional lighting that illuminates the face. You can buy portable lighting that fits onto a tripod and connects to your laptop or other devices. Strong lighting behind you will cast a shadow, and if you wear glasses, have 2 lights shining on you, 1 from each side. Remember, L in Laser stands for loudness. You have to be heard clearly, and an independent microphone will help make this happen. And don't let busy artwork or wallpaper detract from you, the performer. The more neutral the backdrop, the less it gets in the way of watching and listening to you and your message. A successful digital experience is about audience engagement. It's about connecting with your audience emotionally as well as intellectually. Relevant content will create the intellectual connection, but for the emotional connection, your digital presentation has to feel dynamic. Think fast changing slides every 20 to 30 seconds, expression in your voice, alternate movements, and use gestures to illustrate your points. Use video content if you can, and involve your audience through questions, whether rhetorical, direct, in a poll, or via the chat areas. Communication is a performance. I hope you feel this video has been helpful.